I sat down and I worked out what I want to do. It's not the best circuit diagram in the world, but at least it gives me an idea of what I'm looking for. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start this convoluted process that I don't quite understand. I've got my commons on my switch, are the interior lugs right here and right here. I'm going to connect those commons, and then I'm going to consider this 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, and 5 positions. Obviously the notch positions connect 2 at a time. Alright, so first I need to connect the 2 commons so that I have my input stage and my output stage connected, and then coming out of this common I'm going to go over to my main volume pot here. Now I'm going to check which lugs I should solder to from the switch. Right now I've got the pot all the way up, so these 2 lugs are giving me 0.3 ohm resistance, and then if I turn it all the way down, it's giving me 254. So I'm going to bring my input into here, and I'm going to bring my output from the wiper, and I'm going to ground this guy, because all the way open gives no resistance between these 2 points, which is what I want. I'm also putting a treble bleed, so I need to connect the wipers with both a 100 picofarad cap and a 150 kilo ohm resistor. This is the best I could get on the caps. I will probably replace this in the future with a better cap that I order, but in the interest of getting things done, what I could get at Radio Shack is gonna do for right now. So I'm just gonna put these guys in through the lugs right now. So there's our resistor. Here's our cap. Make that as accessible as possible for the future. Change. Okay, and then I'm going to need to connect those 2. I'm not going to make the wire that long. I could regret it. I'm just going to take a little bit of wire, push it up on either side, and kind of work it in this way so that it stays out of the way of everything else, and it connects the 2 common lugs on this switch. Then I'm going to go from here over to here, but I'm going to give myself a little bit of extra because I'm going to need to get at these switches. So I'm going to bring it around and underneath just to make everything look kind of clean. So I'll take about that much. And do you want to go over? Do you want to go under? Sorry for the Sesame Street sing-along. There we go. Now can I get it back here? Alright, so making that look nice. Let's solder those guys on. Input lug, and we'll solder that down. Not doing the wiper yet because I have things coming from the wiper, so there is not a reason to do that and then have to resolder it. So I can nip these guys off right here, and nip, and take that guy off. Alright, so now I've got, coming from the common, around these switches, and into the input of my master volume. Now coming out of the master volume from the wiper, I'm going to need several different wires. One is going to go to the acoustophonic, then another is going to go to a bypass switch. It's going to be a battery bypass, and I'm going to need to fish some wires through the body of the instrument before I solder that up. So I'm just going to leave the wire coming out, and I will deal with the bypass switch in the future. And I'm going to send both of these out of that main wiper lug. Okay. Very nice. There we go. Alright, so now I can clip this stuff off. Snippety snippety. So this lug is going to be grounded, so we will just see if I can solder this on. I didn't sand anything off there, but that seems to be okay. Maybe that means on these CTS pots I don't need to sand a little spot to ground everything to. That would be cool. These switches here are going to be the neck always on, the acoustophonic, which I need to replace this with the actual acoustophonic switch, but that's easy enough to do. And then this is going to be a coil split switch for my tapped coil pickup. It looks like online the output from each of these goes to the wiper. So the input of the pot is the wiper, and then the output is here on this end, and then you leave the other lug hang. So what I'm going to do, and this is connected to ground through a capacitor. I'm going to use a 0.022 UF. I'm not sure if that's a 22 microfarad or 0.022 microfarads. I think that's the case. So, but I am using one of those caps, and what happens is you can send all of your outputs to this lug here, and then that'll go to ground through that lug. I don't have to use individual caps on each one of these pots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that right away. I'm going to take some wire, and I'm going to come from the output lug of each one of these pots, which is going to be my neck tone, my middle tone, my bridge tone, my middle tone, and my neck tone. And I'm going to use the neck tone as my master. That's where I'm going to solder my capacitor onto this pot right here. And actually, I'm going to send my piezo tone through that capacitor also. So I'm going to wire up the black wire to each one, or from each one to there. And I will eventually take all the grounds and ground them to the main volume pot. At this point, I'm keeping that out of my way, so I understand that these aren't totally grounded yet. So I'm going to come from my neck lug, going to bring that around to this wiper, then my middle, this wiper, then my bridge, and that wiper. And maybe I should go for the bridge first. Alright, so I now, off camera, actually I took both of these pots off in order to get at the connections for this pot and switched the Graphtec Ghost quick switch in. So now I've got that three-way switch on the side, and then just a two-way switch for both the neck always on and the bridge coil cut switch. I will probably have to take all of this off again because I'm thinking I would like to try and paint these gold so that they match everything else on the guitar instead of being little silver switches sticking out. But we'll see how that comes to fruition. So for now, I'm going to leave this pickguard assembly assembled, and I am going to leave it for the day. That's it. The next thing I need to do is wire in this neck always on switch. So that means I need to come from this lug here through this switch, and then this switch will go to the common, which will go out to the main volume. So I would have be able to switch the neck on at all times. Alright, so it's these two lugs that are connected when the switch is on what I want to be the on position. That's going to be the off. So I'm going to solder these two lugs together. Okay. Alright, so this is my coil tap switch. And the way this is going to work is the center common lug is going to go out to the bridge lug here, and then the pickup is actually going to come, the one output is going to hit here, and then the tapped output is going to hit here. And I'm going to bring it in from below just so that I can get at the others when I finally hook this baby up. Go. That's what has to happen. Alright, I'm just going to do a few extra things. I'm going to take the ground up from what's going to be my piezo volume and notch that on. And I think I'm going to do my grounding just because I should.
And that's for them.